Hello, divine creations, divine marvels, children of God. Thank you so very much for joining in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. To anyone who's new to this channel or this topic, this channel is based on the work of very, I don't even have the words to describe, a very interesting, powerful, humble person named Bruno Groening, a very powerful spiritual teacher and healing. I'm honored to be sharing his work. And again, if you're new, please, and you'd like to learn a little bit more about Bruno Groening or his teachings, please click on the link to the right or the link below. So today is going to be a guided meditation, in essence, more like a guided contemplation on Bruno's teachings. So without further ado, let's hop on in. And of course, a very special warm welcome to any return viewers. Thank you for taking the time to practice and to reflect on Bruno's teachings. So, first and foremost, let's come into the present moment. Taking a few deep breaths, letting go of the day, letting go of what's happened, what we think is going to happen, coming into the present moment. Bruno Groening said that one of the reasons he was able to heal so quickly, meaning himself, was that he lived in the present moment, which I would understand to mean that if we live in the present moment, healing happens much more easily, much more smoothly. Welcome, Luna. Hi. Thanks for joining in. So let's just take a few breaths and come into the present moment. Now, let's give away all burdens, worries, fears, handing them over to a spiritual helper we trust. If you don't have such a helper, Bruno Groening is an amazing person who can help. Literally handing over burdens, giving them away to a spiritual helper or to your understanding of the supreme, of a higher power, what some people call God. Let's empty out our hearts. Let's search our hearts and minds for fears, resentments, unhealthy attachments, unhealthy habits, and hand them over to a spiritual helper or hand them over to Source. Maybe even push them over. Firmly separate ourselves from them. Giving them away. In our losses and sadness, everything, handing it over, again, to God, higher power, or to a spiritual helper. Now, having done that, have the intention, the will to receive divine healing energy and ask higher power, ask your spiritual helper to receive this energy. And then observe the body with the intention to take this energy in. That's the basic practice. Observing the body with the intention to take this energy in. Please continue to do it throughout all the meditation today. And then as we're doing that, I'm going to offer some things to contemplate. But first, a few minutes of silence, taking in this beautiful energy. So first and foremost, let's contemplate asking for help. And let's look at it in a new light. Oftentimes asking for help is just like, please God, or please Bruno, or please Christ, or whoever your helper is. But let's do it a little bit differently. Let's hand over the problem or challenge and then ask for the divine energy to bless the situation. For example, if you're having trouble with your car, handing the problem over first, separating yourself from the problem, then asking for the help. So let's practice that now. Once again, separating ourselves from problems, burdens, worries, then asking for help. Not having a specific outcome in mind, but just asking for the divine energy to come in, to restore health, order, harmony. Now let's reflect on why this is a way of asking for help. Well, according to Bruno Groening, All of our problems stem from turning away from God and turning towards what Bruno called bosse, this energy of evil, nastiness, viciousness. So, the problem isn't really the problem. The problem's this, whatever problem we're up against, it's a symptom. It's a symptom of a spiritual problem. There might be a specific spiritual problem, but underneath that is this energy Bruno called bosse. So when we give a problem away, we're giving away the underlying cause. So let's reflect on that every problem has an underlying, a fundamental spiritual cause of bosse, nastiness, viciousness, evil. Some traditions call it ego. Some traditions call it illusion, delusion, ignorance. Handing over the underlying cause. Let's say there's a conflict with a person. Yes, you can give away the conflict, but let's give away the cause of the conflict. Maybe you identify the cause as selfishness. Okay, give the selfishness away, but then what caused the selfishness? Bruno Groening, as have many other great masters, said it's a fundamental negative force. So let's give that away. Now this takes us to another very interesting place is, well, what am I? Bruno Groening said that we are souls. And that while this soul can't be tainted by evil, can't be tainted by problems, it can be grabbed, seized, forced to live and behave in negative ways. So let's reflect on that. Two pieces. One, our inner divinity, which cannot be tainted. Let's start there. Actually, let's back up. What am I? Let's meditate on that. A soul, not a body, the inhabiter of the body. Letting go of, oh, my name is, I am a particular nationality, I am a particular religion, I am a particular gender or sex. Getting down to the root, I am a soul. I am not this body, I'm that which inhabits this body. All right, so one of the characteristics of the soul that Bruno spoke of was our unchangeable purity in the depths of our being. That doesn't mean that we're perfect in essence, but are we, until we're living that, it's supreme arrogance to say, I am perfect, until we're embodying that. So let's reflect on our inner essence of divinity, of goodness, of love. Now let's reflect on that unlike this body, we are eternal. It's one of the big differences between us and this body. We are eternal. So again, reflecting on the fact that we're a soul, and reflecting on our inherent divinity of the soul, then reflecting on our eternal nature, or that we're on an eternal journey. And then reflecting on that this body is going to die, but the soul lives on. And Bruno Groening said, I'm paraphrasing here, that recognizing that the body is temporary is part of what will lead us to self-knowledge, meaning lead us to understand who and what we are. That we are a soul. So let's reflect. As wonderful as this body is, and Bruno said this body is a gift, that this body will come to an end. And let's contrast that with us, the soul that will continue on and has done this many, many times. So, I'm not a body, I'm a soul. The inherent nature of this soul is goodness and eternal. And now, let's reflect on this amazing capacity this soul has to connect to the divine or to connect to bosse, nastiness, viciousness, evil. The soul has free will in that matter. You could say which radio station we tune into. So let's make a determination to, as much as possible throughout the day, stay connected to God. Bruno once said, I believe this is a direct quote, though I'm going from memory. Why don't you take up the divine connection and maintain it? Easy to say, not so easy to do, but let's determine to strive even more for the divine connection. So to review, today we looked at what We looked at the root of all problems, evil. Well, not evil, bosse, as Bruno called it. And how and what we are, that we are divine souls, that we're souls, not a body. We're inherently divine, we're eternal, and we have this receptive capacity. We have this capacity for free will. And so, how important it is to choose the divine in each moment and to strive for that. Because when we choose the other, then we take on, not take in, maybe take into the body, but not into the soul, but we take on the dark force. And ultimately, we're forced to serve it. We're forced to think, speak, and do evil. And the solution to all of this, Bruno Groening said, is the divine power, which frees us from bosse. So we're going to begin to wrap up, and let's take a moment now and ask for those near and dear to us, for our households, neighborhoods, cities, county, state, country. Let's ask that our countries just be showered with this goodness. Then the whole world, that everyone's hearts open to the divine presence, the divine power, divine guidance. Let's tune into the beautiful wish that all beings be happy, meaning all beings be free from this force, bosse, and be connected to the divine. Thank you so very much for joining in. Hope this was helpful. It was very meaningful to me to share these teachings and spend some time reflecting on them. Again, if you're new, a very, very warm welcome. Please do visit the website. There's lots more information. Of course, you're welcome, invited and welcome to continue tuning in and to continue reflecting on these ideas. Thank you so much. Take care, dear ones. Big love.